I started posting on social media when I was 16. And when I first started, I was scared for the people that I went to school with, scared for the people that I knew to find out about it. And pretty much every single one of my fears about it became true. So before Christ saved me, all of my content was red pill oriented, right? Because that's what I was watching, that was what I was doing in my life, so that's what I would teach online. And I remember sitting in class and people would play these videos of mine about approaching women in class, and you would like hear your own voice around the entire classroom, dude. It was awkward. I like imagine how that would feel. And by my senior year, I was called my username in school more than my actual name. My bad for the hair looking crazy too. I just got out of the shower and I combed it back. But anyways, as you can imagine, that messed with my confidence a lot. And it wasn't until after I graduated and I've been walking with Christ for a while that it really clicked for me. You can never become who God called you to be until you let go of what other people called you. Just like the Bible talks about, this world is passing. See, people always say online that you need to get your confidence from God. And how do you actually do that? That's the first question, which I'll explain that in just a second. But it actually makes so much sense why it has to come from God, because anything else is inconsistent and it is fading. Anything you try and base it on, whether it's getting women or social media followers like I was and money like I was, all of that is fleeting and all of that constantly changes. So when you're competing for other people's approval, when you're competing for an arbitrary number, this stuff is always changing. Other people's opinions are always changing. And if what generates your confidence is always fluctuating, what is going to happen to your confidence? It's going to be fluctuating. And if your confidence is constantly fluctuating, that's not confidence, that's a facade. Even the root word in confidence is confide. Confide is the ability to trust, right? To trust in yourself. If I say you can confide in me, that means you can trust in me. You can tell me your secrets. You confide in your best friend, right? You tell them your secrets. You know they got your back, right? There's this preacher, and also like he's a business guy online, Byron Golden, who says this perfectly. He says most people have lied to themselves so many times that they can't even trust themselves anymore. And that is so true. Just to take that even further, right? Confidence, confide means trust, right? Trust comes from truth, right? You know someone's going to tell the truth. You know someone's going to be honest with you. That comes from truth. The word truth in ancient Hebrew is something like Aleph, Bay, Met, or something like that. I'm not sure if I said that right, but it's like Aleph, Bay, Met. And the Bible was written in ancient Hebrew, right? That's what it means in ancient Hebrew. Aleph, Bay, Met means truth, which means God's mighty covenant. So truth is God's mighty covenant. Covenant is our agreement with God, right? It's why you're saved. Our covenant through Christ. That was a side tangent. That part's really not that important. But truth, right? You need the ability to confide in yourself. You need to be able to trust. We have to trust in something that does not change. What can we trust in that does not change at all? 100% of the time is always the same. God. Well, how do we do that? Well, we have to do what Romans 12:2 says, which is to renew the mind. I was finally able to flip off that switch of caring what other people said, caring about what the people at my school said about me or my content or what I was trying to do. I was able to flip all that off once I actually started to allow myself to renew my mind, and I started to almost reprogram myself. So everyone is programmed by what they grew up with. When you're born as a baby, you're a blank slate, right? So the people that you grow up around, the environment that you grow up around, the music that you listen to, the TV that you watch, all of it is programming you, right? And this is something that no one wants to talk about, but it's true. Everything that you watch, do, the people you hang around, the conversations you have, the music that you listen to, everything is programming you, and it is going to control the way you think, the way you act, and the things that you do. And that's not a choice like, oh, I'm not going to get programmed by anything. That's literally, no, you're going to get programmed by something. The only choice you have is what you get programmed by. And most of the time, your lack of confidence comes from you accepting these lack beliefs that come from the people around you, come from the conversations, come from the internet, come from applying yourself or comparing yourself on social media to other people, right? And all of these things lower our perceived value of ourselves rather than basing who we are off whose we are. Well, so the key to putting your confidence in God is actually really simple. Romans 12:2, to renew the mind. All you have to do is be willing to be open that any belief you have might not be correct. And then all you have to do is change the programming towards the outcomes that you want. Listen to the people that have the lives that you actually aspire towards. Listen to the word. Every time that you read the word, you are programming yourself with what God actually said about you, who you actually are. You're confiding in God. Every time you pray and you allow God to speak to you, that's allowing God to confide in who you are and build up your confidence through him. All of these things are allowing that, right? When you watch a podcast episode, that is building you up. When you read those books, that is building you up. Start to change all of the programming. If you have people around you that are always negative, always complaining, get rid of them. Stop listening to those people. Stop talking with those people. Stop associating with those people. Those people that where you talk to them and it just feels like they're draining your energy every time you talk to them. Stop talking to them and allow yourself to start to be programmed either by the word or by the people you want to be around or the people, godly people, right? Come into our Christian community. It's 100% free. The King's Chat down below. I'll link it down below. Come join and talk with other Christians and allow yourself to have those conversations. Allow yourself to be molded by other people on Christ-focused self-improvement. And as you go through that gradual process of Romans 12:2 of renewing the mind slowly over not just a day, not a few days, not a few weeks even, over a few months, over a year, over 2 years, over 3 years, it'll slowly reprogram your subconscious thinking and the way you act, the way you think, the way you're able to deal with your emotions and deal with other people and interact with the beautiful feminine wife that you want one day. Every aspect of your Christ-focused self-improvement will improve because you reprogrammed yourself with the way God wants us to think about ourselves. Christ-focused self-improvement is what I teach, man. I hope you stay blessed. Like this video, subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'm trying to post every single day. Like I said, we have a free community down below, but once again, stay blessed, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.